the good old summertime, in the good old summertime.
The story of his grave, which is down in Elmer's End, it's near Crystal Palace in southeast London, and it's a very interesting one and a very sad one in many ways. And what happened was that was where Bessie, his daughter, was buried, and then also Bertie, when he died, his eldest son, his youngest son Charlie is not buried there, but his wife Agnes is. But that's where WG was buried. That's where his funeral took place nearby, and then he's buried there in 1915. And then there's this extraordinary thing that happens, which is the reason I'm telling this at length is because it has a very interesting ending to it, which is the grave itself is neglected between the wars, and then the Second World War comes along. And somebody is walking through the graveyard in 1943, I think 42, 43, and it's been hit by shrapnel. It's sort of got weeds growing all over it. And this is just sort of disgraceful, if you'll forgive the pun. And he writes to his a relative in Bristol, and somebody decides that something must be done. And it's sort of tidied up, but it's basically a wreck and a ruin. You get to 1948, the centenary of his birth, and Pelham Warner, who's made a living really out of pretending to know W.G. Grace much better than he did. He goes down to Bristol for some anniversary event there to inaugurate, I think, the Grace Gates down there. There's nothing on this ruined grave that is placed on the day in South London, apart from one wreath with a card, and it's sent by the touring Australian cricket team. And I cannot remember the quote exactly, but it says something like, "In memory of W.G. Grace, the great cricketer from all Australia." Now, I know nothing more about it than that, but it is absolutely perfect because, of course, no team played cricket more like Grace wanted to play cricket than these Australians. And I think also there was something about Grace, and this is romanticizing a bit, and I came across a possibly apocryphal quote by Jeff Thompson about Botham, where he said something like, "For a pom, he would have made a good Aussie." And that was Grace.